You don't have to vote for Kamala Harris. And I'll never be the one that says I I'm advocating. I'm not advocating to vote for Kamala Harris. You can say I don't want to vote for her because I don't like her. You have a right to your opinion. You can say I don't want to vote for her because I disagree with her politics and her policies. You have a right to your position. But to sit up here and say you're not going to vote for her because she is not black, aside from it being non-factual, being false, it's idiotic. I'm sorry. It's just stupid to say you're not going to vote for candidate one because they are not black, and you are going to vote for candidate two and they are not black. That's idiocy. It makes no sense. Now, the idiocy is further underscored when you look at the two candidates and you clearly see one candidate, candidate number two, Trump, is not black at all. He's a German who's masqueraded in the past as a Sweden because he was afraid to tell people he was German. And you have candidate one who is black and Indian. Now, as far as I remember, there's never been a time in the black community where we disassociated ourselves from mixed people. We may have raised an eyebrow at a mixed person. I'm not saying that's right, but that's always been a part of the black community. There's always been a raised eyebrow when you see a black person dating outside their race. And there's always been a raised eyebrow when you see the offspring of said couple. But a raised eyebrow is far different from I'm just not voting for you or I just don't like you because. A raised eyebrow is very different from denying that person's blackness. All of us as black American, foundational black American, ADOS, African descendant of slavery, all of us have anywhere between 15 and 20% white in us anyhow. None of us can say we are 100% black or 100% African. To say that a person who has a black parent and an Indian parent is not black, well, you can definitively say that person is not white. If you're a black person, it's because you got at least one black parent. The woman has a black parent. Even if you go to the biblical thing, which I don't support. I've never supported biblical ideologies. You are what your father is, because that's what it says in the Bible. Well, her father is black. How are you going to parade the Bible out when it's convenient? You take that ideology and say, your father got to be black. Well, her father's black. And then you still say, oh, no, that don't count. You have a mental problem if this is what you're doing. There are just too many people without proper brain cells, or this is a divide and conquer tactic being promoted amongst ourselves by an outside agitator, the same way we had outside agitators in the 60s who promoted confusion and division. If you don't want to vote for her, that's fine. But you can't take a person's blood from them. You can't take a person's bloodline and lineage from them. To say she's not black, to deny blood that runs through her veins, the DNA. People will try this little fast game, 3-card Molly type trick where they show pictures, but they're only showing the black and white pictures. And if you look at the black and white picture, then the black and white picture might be questionable. And I'm like, okay, I get it. It's questionable. But questionable don't mean not black. It just means questionable. There's plenty of black Americans. There's plenty of ADOS. There's plenty of FBA black people who, when you look at their black and white photos, they look questionable. W.E.B. Du Bois looks questionable. With the right angle, Malcolm X looks questionable. But looking questionable still doesn't take away from your facts. And so what I wanted to show is the video. They like to show the questionable picture and then go off on a tirade about there's no way she can be black. I want to show a video of her father.
which even mechanism, which even if there exists an equilibrium, that equilibrium, there may be multiple equilibria, and much of the current theorizing has shown that. Furthermore, that there are intrinsic problems of the runaway of the financial.
Now you saw the video. Stop.